guys, welcome back to Heart Breathings. We have a little guest star here today. Evie's gonna hang out with us just a little bit. This is probably gonna be one of the shortest videos of the year, but I wanted to take a minute to remind you guys of one of the most important things to take into consideration when you're planning for 2020. So this one comes straight out of personal experience for several years now, but one of the most important things that I really highly encourage you to take into consideration when you're planning for 2020 or when you're planning for Q1 or any quarter next year is to remind yourself to take time off for both mental and physical health. So I know that right now we live in a very hustle, get things done as fast as possible type of life and culture, and it can really feel like if we don't go as fast as possible and get as much done as we can right now, right this minute, that everything's going to fall apart or we're just not going to see the success that we want to see in life. But I am here to tell you from experience that when you push yourself so hard that you just can't, give any more, and you're taking out of your time with your family, you're taking time away from, your downtime, and you're just pushing yourself constantly to try to hit those big goals, what ends up happening is you end up burning out, or you end up in a place where it's I have nothing left to give to anyone else or even to myself. And you end up stealing your own joy out of your life. I decided several years ago that I was going to put in buffer days. And so when I teach my HB90 course or the 2020 writing plan that I just did live here on YouTube last week, if you want to go back and watch that, I always talk about building in extra days to your schedule, sick days, mental health days, even just I don't feel like working today kind of days. It might mean in some ways that you don't get as much done as you could get done if you were hustling and pushing all the time. But what I see happen time and time again to not only my friends, but other authors in the industry and entrepreneurs in general, is that when you don't give yourself that buffer time, there's a few things that happen. One is that you end up totally burned out, which we've talked about a lot on this channel. And then once you hit a max level of burnout, you're basically toast for at least 6 months sometimes, where you just cannot keep going. You lose your energy and you just lose all of that time. So it would have been better to take a couple days off here and there rather than just losing 6 months or sometimes even a year of your life to major burnout. I've also seen friends of mine burn out so badly that they ended up in the hospital for an extended stay, which is just not where you want to be. So please take that into consideration. Another thing that potentially happens is you start to lose the connection with your joy. You start to really resent what it is you're doing. And you stop spending time with your family. You start snapping at people. You start getting really irritable about the results aren't coming in fast enough. And the truth is, I truly believe that we start to see diminishing returns on our work. So we're pushing as hard as we can, but we get to a point where we're not putting our best work out there or our most our most exciting ideas or our energy or anything like that. It looks like this light is kind of washing her face out a little bit, but it's so dark in here because it's raining outside. So please forgive the bright light on Evie's face. She's not normally so pale. But I've seen it happen time and time again that you stop putting your energy toward it, the real magic of who you are and your excitement, especially as writers, when you stop loving the writing and you're pushing so hard that you don't even have time to craft a good story or really dream about what you want your story to be or what's going on with your characters, then you lose the magic of it. And then you don't see the results that you want to see because there's something off, and readers can tell oh, I don't know, this story just isn't as good as the last one. So even though you're putting out 12 books in a year, maybe they're not getting the same level of you creatively that they used to. And this is not a judgment on people who write fast, because I know that there are some authors who can really write fast and have no problem with burnout, but You just need to know where you are and what your limitations are. So just a quick reminder that as you start to plan for 2020, give yourself those buffer days. Give yourself days where you just go on like creative dates with yourself, or you go and binge watch something and you just don't get out of your PJs all day. And give yourself those days that aren't necessarily planned, but that when you wake up and you have a cold like I have, I'm sure you guys can hear it in my voice, I've had a cold for the last few days, that you just say, okay, this is one of those days that I built into my schedule and I'm going to take time off. It's really not worth it to, clear everything off your Kanban board, get everything done, make lots of money if you're not happy and you're not healthy. So what I would love to see all of us, and this is what I'm striving for, is to continue to grow my business, continue to grow my YouTube channel, continue to grow my author career, but in a way that is healthy for me and for my family, so that we can continue to have joy in our lives and happiness and, time together, but also, enjoy the fruits of the labor, so to speak. So I had expected or planned that I would finish a social media planner and have it up on Etsy, along with a walkthrough here on my YouTube channel and a goals planner, which I've had in the works for a while. Which is basically my HB90 Method planner, but instead of it being just quarterly and having the daily pages and the weekly pages, this is a planner for people that already have like their daily planner or their weekly planner, and they just want the goal setting pages. So the goals planner, I actually did finish last night, so hopefully you guys can see that. It's the HB90 Method 2020 Goals Planner is up now on Etsy, and it's actually 30% off for the next week. And I might extend that sale because I had hoped and planned on my editorial calendar to have a complete walkthrough of that goals planner here on my channel. And I just don't have the energy to record it and to get it all done. So that's not happening. And it's just one of those types of things where it's like, maybe it's not ideal to have to take some days off, but you can hear it in my voice. We're also traveling, and it's just hit a point where even though I was very careful to set aside a lot of time in my schedule with this sweet little girl coming into the world, I still have kind of pushed myself into exhaustion the last couple of days. And so I'm just taking a break. And I wanted to just come on here and remind you, if you're in that place where you're just struggling and pushing so hard to make your dreams come true, that it's okay and probably best for you to take a little bit of a break, take some time off, regroup, discover that part of your creativity and let yourself kind of refill and recharge before you get back to it. Because if you continue to push yourself past the level of exhaustion, you're not going to see the results that you were hoping for. I promise you that. So the 2020 Goal Planner is up on Etsy, but I don't have a walkthrough for you. You can see some of the screenshots if you've been interested in this planner. But basically it's the same like 50 or so goal setting pages that help you set your goals, set up your Kanban board, take those goals and break them down into projects and tasks and plan your schedule. And it's got all the same great like quotes pages and things like that. But instead of the weekly and daily spreads just for one quarter, like the quarterly planner, this one has all 4 quarters, and each, like the first quarter has all the instructions on how to fill out the planner pages and the project pages, but then quarters 2, 3, and 4 don't have those instruction pages, but they do have a weekly checklist so that you can write down what you're planning to get done for the week and then check it off. And that's it. No weekly or daily pages, just the weekly checklist and the goal setting pages all the way, that'll carry you all the way through the end of 2020. So if you're interested in that, that is up on Etsy. However, the social media planner that I know a lot of you have been looking forward to did not get finished. And that's just going to have to be okay for me to, let that one go and say, I am doing my best. And I just really encourage you guys sometimes to, to listen to yourself, listen to your body, know when you've just hit a point where I'm just too tired to keep going and I need to take a break. Social media planner will go up later, and I know that you guys will be okay with that. Number one tip that I have for you guys for 2020, as you're, getting through the holidays and hopefully spending time with family, I know that many of you are going to start planning for next year, your writing schedule, your Q1 plan, if you're doing a Kanban board, what tasks, what things you really, really most want to get done in 2020. And my biggest number one tip for you to be successful in 2020 is to not only plan those buffer days so that you have the ability to take time off when you need it, but also to really pay attention and become aware of how you feel, where is your mental health? Where is your physical health? Are you tired? Do you have a cold? Are you starting to feel run down? And really listen to yourself and your body. And when you start to either like lose your temper a lot, or you're snapping, or you're just not looking forward to writing anymore because it just feels like a chore, or when you start to get a head cold, or you just start to feel like really tired all the time, or it's not, feeling your best, or you're getting more headaches or whatever else, to listen to that and to take a break when you need it. Because like I said earlier, it's so much better in the long run to take even a week off or a couple of days off than it is to burn yourself out or push yourself into the point of exhaustion to where you can't keep going. So that is one of my biggest goals for you, and one of my biggest tips for you as you move into 2020. I know that I'm going to be doing that and paying attention to that as well, because as exhausting as the baby stage can be, I also remember those days when my son was like starting to walk and crawl, which she is just starting to try to want to sit up a little bit. So it's probably not going to be too far before she's like crawling all over this house and everything. And I'm going to have to like make sure I don't have planners sitting around for her to get hurt on or anything. That's going to be a more exhausting stage in a lot of ways than this early baby stage was. So I've got to plan a lot of extra days into Q1 and really focus in on what's the most important thing so that I'm not, wasting time. I also, as a tip for 2020 for myself, is I'm getting more help. So we might be hiring someone to come in once a week and clean the house a little bit more. And I would like to hire a part-time assistant who's going to do a little bit more for me behind the scenes. So, getting that help, getting the support that I need, but also, planning to take those days off that I really need is important. And I hope the best for you too. I also just wanted to take a moment and say thank you all so much for your support this year. I am going to be taking at least a week off, if not a little bit more. So you might not see a video from me until towards the beginning of the year. But my channel just hit 24,000. Yay, 24,000. I wish she would smile for you guys, because she just has the cutest smile. You want to smile for mommy? You want to smile? Oh, I got like a little bit of a smile, but not a real smile. Come on. 24,000 subscribers today. And as we get into the holidays and we're talking about gratitude and everything else, I just wanted to say thank you so much from the true bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for your support of Heart Breathings and for this channel. And for me, it has meant the world to all of us here in this household. And I just so appreciate it. When I started this channel, I was just thinking about, I wanted this to be a place where I could talk about, that it's okay to write what you love. It's okay to follow your joy. And I did not expect that so many of you would enjoy this channel and enjoy what I have to say and the things I have to show here. So thank you for being a part of the Hearties, as some of my groups from Publish and Thrive has named my sort of my fan group, the Hearties, which I just love. That it makes me smile so much. So thank you for being a Heartie. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love you guys. And as you plan, don't forget to plan a little bit of extra time for yourself, some me time, and how you're going to reward yourself next year. All right, so Evie totally agrees with that. I'm going to turn this light down so you can actually see her without the light shining on her face. Is she not just the cutest with these chubby little cheeks? Say hi. Say Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah. So whatever you are celebrating this holiday season, I hope that you have a wonderful Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating with your family. Just have a happy holiday season. And I will see you guys before the beginning of the year. But thank you so much for being a part of this community and a part of my online family. I love you and I'm wishing you the best, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.